We do have a side and limited poll question up, and Packer fans, as I predicted, don't want to blame their quarterback. They want to blame their coach because it's easier to blame your coach. But I think Matt LaFleur is more highly thought of in coaching circles or in the NFL as a coach than Jordan Love as a quarterback. But 96% of you blame Matt LaFleur for the Packers' inconsistency. Fat Pet chimes in on
Fat Pet?
Twitter. Fat Pet. It's a very appropriate Twitter.
By the way, there's FETTPETT. A lot of T's.
There's some sort of.
Pet.
And if you switch both of them around, it'd be the same thing. Fat Pet.
This guy looks like a trip. But he says offensive line. Or they, or her, I don't know, says offensive line. But 844-770-3776 is how you get into the show. Jonah Booney's timed out. LaFleur is more to blame, and he also loved through 37 passes with no pick against Pittsburgh. Congratulations. What do you get, a cookie?
He's had 4 games where he's thrown over 30 times.
Do we have the numbers on those?
Just for what it's worth.
This season.
Yeah.
Yeah, this season.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, he's better than he was last year. But he still ain't better than Jared Goff.
His stats are better than Jared Goff this year.
I don't care.
Okay, I'm just.
The Packers have a better record. Jared.
I'm literally just.
No, the Packers have a better record.
You just said that he's not as good as Jared Goff, and I'm telling you, he's better than he is this year.
No stats. Don't give me stats. You'd rather have Jordan Love than Jared Goff.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I'm not going off stats.
Yeah. What are you talking about then?
I'm saying that Jordan Love is an untrustworthy quarterback, and his stupid decisions like bonehead interceptions.
No. You were saying that he's not as good as Jared Goff. I am saying that based on stats this year, he is better than Jared Goff. I'm not saying he's overall better than Jared Goff. I'm saying that if you're using traditional statistics to base a quarterback, right now, do you think the Packers have a better record than Jared Goff? Hold on. What stats were we talking about before? Were we talking about
passes or more, and
interceptions?
He has a pick.
Yeah, but I was using that to prove a point that Jordan Love is untrustworthy. I'm glad he's gotten better, but he still ain't as trustworthy as Jared Goff. The Packers have a better record than Jared Goff.
I'm not saying
Jared Goff's quarterback. So then Jared Goff's a better quarterback.
We have all agreed that Jared Goff is a better quarterback. I was just saying for the season, based on the things that we talked about.
Stats are not it.
Stats don't matter. This whole conversation's all you've talked about is stats. Come on.
No, I've talked about one specific stat to prove that he's untrustworthy. Anyways, Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Drake May are all infinitely better than Jordan Love. Unquestionably better than Jordan Love this year.
Okay, going off our poll question of who do you blame more? What is our actual question? Matt LaFleur,
who do you blame more,
for the
LaFleur or Jordan Love? I obviously it's all three of them, and I think Jordan Love is the main problem. And so I'll say this: please fire Matt LaFleur and keep Jordan Love.
I think just
offensive line.
I'm not saying I agree with this. However, I think there's a very easy way for fans to blame Matt LaFleur because it is a lot easier to move off of Matt LaFleur than it is Jordan Love. Jordan Love, you're tied to for however many years. You're tied to him for however many dollars. Matt LaFleur is a lot easier to just wipe your hands of and go on your way. Now, does that mean that they're going to be a better team if they do end up getting rid of Matt LaFleur? I don't think so. I think that there are better coaches than Matt LaFleur. Like, I look at Dan Campbell, even though he lost the Minnesota Vikings yesterday, where I'm like, he's a better coach. Who are we just talking about? Kyle Shanahan. Yep, with the 49ers. He's a better coach than Matt LaFleur. However, if you get rid of Matt LaFleur as your head coach, are you going to go be able to pick up a guy like Kyle Shanahan? No. That's not going to happen. Hence why, Jim, as a Bears fan, you're saying, go ahead, get rid of Matt LaFleur. You guys are going to suck if you move on from him because you think that the grass is greener on the other side, but it's not. It's not always greener.
Plus, look at Jordan Love in his first year as a starter in not a new offense, but that's an offense that probably hurts his case even more, right? Like, he had years to learn this offense, and his first year as a starter took him 7 weeks to start to figure it out, 8 weeks to figure it out, and then he had a pretty good run.
And he was sitting on the bench before that. It's not like he was a rookie when that happened.
Right. And that's what I'm saying is, like, he actually had time to learn an offense. Now, if you get a new head coach, or especially an offensive-minded one, you're going to have to, relearn the book. Now, that said, my issue with Matt LaFleur, we've dealt with inconsistencies at quarterbacks at times. Not as much with Rodgers, but obviously Favre had his moments of bonehead throws. Like, I can get behind that. Sometimes that's the player, that's their style. You got to take the highs with the lows. I don't know what's going on with the fourth down calls and going for it as opposed to kicking. I don't know what's going on with. I understand you want to establish the run, but if the run's working, for the most part, Josh Jacobs was getting 5 yards a carry. The guy was doing fine. I don't understand why we're throwing checkdowns the whole time. Like, is that option one? Is Jordan Love falling out of that? I don't know enough about that kind of relationship. You're saying that he has two choices when he goes to the line.
I'm not saying that.
That's choices. What does he do? Like, does he have the go ahead to call whatever he wants, or have players run particular routes? Like, is that something they've worked on, or is Matt LaFleur like, this is it? This is what you're doing. One of these two plays. One of them will be good. I don't know if Matt LaFleur has an identity. Molly said it before, and this Packers team, for sure. What's the identity of this Packers football team? Because right now the answer is they're inconsistent.
What about I think this could also be something in terms of attributing their lack of success to Matt LaFleur. What about just the off the field things? Like getting them ready for a game like this week, right? Like I know it's off the field, it's on the field, but it's off the field too, right? Like there's the mentality that I don't know if Matt LaFleur is capable of bringing the mentality that we as fans want him to bring, right? Like all week leading up to this game, he was asked, is this a trap game? No, it's not a trap game. I'm sick of hearing that bleep. I don't want to hear about a trap game, blah, blah, blah. No, this is legitimately the definition of a trap game. You are coming off of a big win against your former quarterback in Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. You're heading into Carolina, who you view as a less than opponent. And then you're gearing up for a Monday Night Football game against the Philadelphia Eagles, the reigning Super Bowl champs. This is by definition a trap game, right? And with his way of saying, no, this isn't a trap game, okay, I don't believe you. I fully believe that he was basically brushing this one off, as we've seen him do after bye weeks, going overseas, whatever it may be. We've seen this time and time again from Matt LaFleur's squad, that he was brushing this game off in order to gear up for the next one. He was overlooking this opponent, and I don't like that because it's any given Sunday. We've said it with the Cleveland Browns game earlier this season, that they didn't learn a damn thing from that game. And that one, you know what? I could easily brush that one off, even though that game sucked too. You know what? I could brush it off and be like, beginning of the season, it's fine. They'll figure it out. Well, guess what? We're basically halfway through the season, and you still haven't figured it out. You're still losing to these opponents. The Cardinals.
Almost lost that one.
It's like they brush off these opponents, and that is probably my bigger issue with who Matt LaFleur is as a coach, because I don't think, and I know I brought him up before, but I don't think that you get that same energy from somebody like Dan Quinn. Or Dan Quinn, Jiminy Christmas, Dan Campbell. She was so close. Dan Campbell or Kyle Shanahan. Like, you don't get that
how old
vibe
are you?
from
keep on making these mistakes. Like,
what do you
I'm
mean?
the
How
old
old
one.
am I? Well, Dan Quinn, he was coaching last night. What do you mean?
Okay,
He's still head coach.
Miles
in the
Garrett,
National
Miles
Football League.
Turner.
Good God, that is bad. That is bad.
I'm just saying that, like, I'm the old guy on the show.
That is bad. That was bad.
Jim, speaking of old, it's not even making the mistake. It's throwing in Jiminy Christmas.
I know, right?
Ryan, if you post that clip, because that was a good clip, and I know you're going to post that.
Wait,
please,
which one? Miles Garrett versus Miles Turner?
No, the one that I
now?
just said, because I know that was a good clip, and you see me. If you
clippable,
post that,
baby.
if you post that, please
It's clippable
edit
if you got the names right.
Please, edit it where I just say Dan Campbell, not Dan Quinn.
Extra work
Thank you.
for the
It's
producer.
like in
Thank
they're gonna jump cut. It's like in the Simpsons episodes when they filmed it before the Super Bowl, when they cut the people, they put their water bottle. Dan Campbell. Like, just block out the lips and change who
Please
what
do,
you
because
said
that
there.
was ungodly embarrassing, and
That's like
apologize.
Jordan Love. Basically, you just did a Jordan Love. You had it, and then you just
You had a great
decided to
drive.
throw
Me
it
and,
in triple
Jordan,
coverage.
me and Jordan Love, I see you. We are one and the same,
I don't-
Jordan Love.
That's like if Molly tried to just throw it up for a Hail Mary. Like she tried to bring in Bill Belichick out of nowhere or something.
No, she
Yeah,
had a
Like,
you know
great
what?
drive
That's
going.
fair.
She had
You
a
know
great
what?
drive going, and then threw to Christian Watson in triple coverage in the end zone.
Thank God I didn't almost throw a freaking pick six and then Jackson didn't catch it. My God. Did that make sense? Right? It was Jackson.
That was one of the worst.
Mike Jackson, yeah.
I know
That
it's
was
fourth
the
down.
most horrible.
I know it's fourth down, but like that was the most Pop Warner like clown circus throw ever. And I get it, fourth down, but like what?
And then
are
he
you
tries
doing?
to defend it by saying, "Oh, it was basically a punt return." What are we talking about?
I get that.
You're
Like
talking
I
the
get what
Christian
he's
Watson
saying.
interception.
I get it, but
Oh.
it literally could have been a what?
You're talking the Christian Watson interception, the one where he says it was a punt return.
Oh, I thought he was talking about that one. Where that was basically a punt return.
No, fourth and 8, he was not saying that was essentially a
Never
punt
mind.
return.
Nope, I got the two clips.
the
It was
Christian
the one
Watson
that he
one.
threw. It was the one when he threw a pick in deep triple coverage deep on first down, which he said
Oh,
was
no, no,
basically
no.
a punt return. Then
No. Yeah, and first down punt return.
Well, he
Makes
wasn't
sense.
sure if Matt LaFleur wanted to call a punt or not. That's how now
Or
they are.
It's not
Romeo
tight.
Dobbs is
I'm
wide
not
open,
tight.
and that's not Matt LaFleur's problem. 3 guys were chasing Christian Watson. You know what that means? Someone else was open.
Yep. I mean,
And then on top of all of that, he underthrew it. I don't know if he could have thrown it farther, but like if he'd thrown it farther, Watson could have run underneath it. But it was a bad decision to throw it there anyways. Don't throw it to 3 guys.
so does he just not go through his progressions, or does he have like
I think-
option A and then check down, and that's it? Because we want to get
So-
the ball out of our hands in 3 seconds or less, and those are my only options.
From what and this is gleaned from the Athletic Football Podcast, so I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on this, but they said what makes the Packers offense hum and be its efficient self, because it's actually, and they said this line, and I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on it first. They said every time they turn on a Packer game, it always feels like they're on the opponent's 30-yard line getting ready to score, but they never score, or the game is always way closer than it needs to be, and they never pull away, which means this is a team, and this is why they brought up the red zone, that can move the ball until the red zone. And not getting the ball in the end zone in the red zone is a quarterback problem. And it's a coach's problem, and it's the offensive line problem. It's all of those problems. But, again, Jordan Love, someone chimed in, Jason, Jordan Love's top 10 quarterback? Probably. He's probably 10th, maybe 9th. I've always said he's between the 8th and 12th best quarterback in the league. But that's still not good enough. The Matt LaFleur criticism that I'll buy, because universally he's believed to be a pretty elite play caller. That's why I bring up the fact that Jordan Love goes to the line with options. Matt, the 2 options are, I get what you're saying, but all Jordan Love's supposed to be doing is if he looks out, it's easier to see if a team, it looks like they are, and I don't know the look, but if a team looks like they are geared up to stop the pass that you have called, then you just do the run. Because obviously, if they look like they're going to blitz and you have a blitz beater, then call the pass. If they look like they're going to blitz and they don't, and you don't have a blitz beater, then you just have to take the run or call it to a draw. I mean, like, there are options there for him. So that gives a lot of trust to Jordan Love there, and that's why it makes it unclear of, LaFleur as a play caller. But the way people describe Matt LaFleur as a play caller, and this offense, when it hums, is one of the best in the league. And the problem is it's the best in the league until it isn't. And when it isn't, it's because Jordan Love did something dumb. Whether it's not hitting a check down, missing a wide open receiver, this isn't always about throwing the interception. This is about also not seeing guys who are open or bailing out of a clean pocket because you felt too much pressure. And for me, if you want to criticize the 4th and 8, if you want to criticize the strategy stuff, if you want to criticize the getting the team ready stuff for LaFleur, I'll buy all that. All of that might keep him from being elite. What happens here, guys? What if Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur are both just good? And that's where you're at. And then you're the Detroit Lions, who will have won the division a couple of years. They have, or maybe just the Green Bay Packers, who win the division and can't get to the Super Bowl. But what happens if they're just good? Because you had LaFleur, who was good with Aaron Rodgers, for part of it was elite, and it still didn't get you to the Super Bowl. And then you had Favre at times elite, and you had elite coach and Holmgren. You got to the Super Bowl twice there. And I don't know if you need elite for both, but if both are good, and the Packers just consistently are a team that wins a playoff game and can't get all the way to the Super Bowl, like, is that worth getting upset over? Like, that's the other question. Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur could just be good. And Josh Jacobs is good. And this whole team is good. And they're young, which means they're going to be inconsistent. They're going to be immature. They're going to look past teams, which is beyond me. The Packers aren't good enough to have a trap game. That's what I said going into this. This is who they are. They just play to the level of their competition. They haven't played a whole game all year, Jordan Love included.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry, these are professionals. Matt LaFleur, like, you talk to guys who play in the NFL. There's not coaches that do this rah-rah speech in the NFL. Peyton Manning talks about halftime adjustments. He laughed about it. He's like, I go in, I eat an orange, I go to the bathroom, and I go back on the field. Like, halftime is not what you see in the movies. And so this is about
I don't think
everything.
the coach has to say something to the team to make an adjustment. He can think about what he's been doing and make an adjustment to the play calling.
Right, and Matt LaFleur did that. They were great in the second half against the Steelers. They looked like dog poop again in the first half.
You're right.
Crap.
And so if we're gonna get on him, so I agree. The strategy stuff, the 4th down stuff, things like that, I do think he struggles with that. Team
Focusing for
identity,
a
getting
game.
him.
He's
What's that?
notoriously terrible if he's got more than 7 days to prepare for a game. Notorious.
Yeah, he might be overcut. Like, so some of that stuff I believe, but at him as an offensive player, or excuse me, an offensive coach and an offensive mind calling plays and developing a quarterback, he is viewed as one of the best minds in football, rightfully so. So that's why with the Jordan Love stuff, where people are like, just let Jordan Love cook. The whole offense is predicated on play action, and Jordan Love is his absolute best when a guy is running open and he can just let it rip and hit that guy, as most quarterbacks are, in stride when the defense is confused. You know why it didn't work against the Panthers? When he ran the play action against the Panthers, including that Christian Watson play, Matt, to your point, predetermined, he runs the play action on that play. 3 guys, the whole defense runs backwards like they were in an outfield, like kids running out to go play baseball. They all go running backwards, and then 3 guys go chase Christian. Right, and Christian Watson goes and chases, and the 3 guys go chase Christian Watson. Like they all knew what the hell Jordan Love was going to do. They're like, go ahead and hand it off to Josh Jacobs. We don't even care. Like, we just don't want to get beat by the big throw. And the Packers couldn't do it. And they were daring. Also, that's a part. They were daring Jordan Love. Hey, throw it short. Throw it to the middle. Just do that. And he wouldn't do it. That's not Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur's not calling, hey, just throw it down the field like an idiot. Just do that. Let's call that play. Or check it down to the – Matt, you used the right term. Check down. They don't call a check. I mean, that's Jordan Love saying, I don't see anyone open. I'm going to throw it out to check down.